All the way back on the very first X-Men, I had actually proposed on the first X-Men because, again, I was already thinking about, well, how do you, comic books. Comics are such a different tactile medium than cinema. What I had wanted to do on the first X-Men was I wanted to shoot it in black and white and colorize it because that's what you do in a comic. But I still think it would have been an interesting way to do a comic book movie. There is no single superhero or comic book figure more iconic than Superman. My initial thinking in it was like, wow, how do you sort of do some kind of homage to comics as an art form? In other words, not just make a movie based on the comic book character, but how do we celebrate the art form of comics? I kept thinking about Dick Tracy, where Warren Beatty and Storaro, really tried to emulate illustration and the 2D quality of comics.
Move in and take your positions. Okay, boys, let's go.
And we had to screen test our lead actor, Brandon Routh. And so I thought, there's nothing more epic and cinematic than 70 millimeter film. So I think I should shoot this screen test in 70 millimeter. There's something that just occurred to me, which is there are no 70 millimeter cinemas anymore. I kind of did this immediate switcheroo where I had remembered some discussions and tests I had done with Panavision about what we all knew was the oncoming invasion of digital cinematography. And they had been developing the Genesis camera. So I did this 180 and started looking into digital cinematography. And I thought, this is actually a way to reference the 2D illustration quality of comic books even more actually than like a 70 millimeter film. I explored initially and had actually been attracted to not only shooting on Genesis, but really finding some kind of digital intermediate process of really celebrating this notion of the comic book language. Brian ultimately is has relatively traditional taste and sort of classic film aesthetics is something that he likes very much. So I think he didn't want to go too far in exploring that, but that was certainly the thinking behind what got me going on Superman. I mean, there's a part of me as a lover of art house films that kind of bemoans the domination of the sort of branded tentpole movies. But as a cinematographer, they're great fun to do because you have so many resources, and there's such a willingness to explore new technology and ever bigger ideas of spectacle.